Hi, it's John here, and I'm doing a review today for the board game with the ungame-like purpose, Cozy Juicy Real. So Cozy Juicy Real is a game that's all about connecting and getting to know your fellow players, and it uses cards that ask questions at progressive levels from the Cozy deck, which are get-to-know-you questions, to the Juicy deck, which gets you to think a little bit more about your responses, and then finally to the Real deck that gets you a little bit more real with everyone. There's also a few other decks that are used in the game, like the random deck here, that has challenges and fun activities that you'll be completing. And then there are different spark cards in the game, which are kind of cards that you can use to give to other players to bolster their scores, because this game is not so much about winning yourself, although it is kind of nice to win. But once you start playing the game, one of its great draws is that when folks start getting really vulnerable and sharing stories from the cards they're being asked, they will start to share their own stories a little bit deeper. And we also have the lightning deck, which is what is used at the end of the game, which are guessing games that you can use to wrap things up when you're coming across the finish line. It's also really fun to play this game with friends or with family members because it just gets you to reflect back on those experiences that you don't normally talk about. There's no idle chit chat in Cozy Juicy Real, just kind of deep and authentic discussions. And for that reason, it's great in kind of any crowd with most aged people. The game does a really, really great job in its question design. And so each card really makes you reflect back on your life and on your recent experiences. And so everyone ends up telling these meaningful stories that you might not have thought about in a long time. And everyone around the table will benefit from people sharing those experiences. And you can actually earn more points in the game by thanking people or having people thank you for sharing really deeply or really comically even. And that's a great mechanic with the purple spark cards so that folks can get points just for kind of sharing their life stories. I absolutely love how this game gets everyone to open up at their own pace. But by the end of the game, nobody's trying to win. No one's trying to get out there and be the best. You're more interested in what other people have to say. And therefore, when you're interested in what they have to say, you want to make sure that you're sharing, equally meaningful experiences. And so really using your spark cards to give points to other people kind of makes you want other people to win the game, which is a great bit of appreciation that you're showing for folks who are being kind of vulnerable with you. One of my most memorable experiences playing this game was playing with complete strangers in the online version of the game. Our game started so very slowly because everyone was kind of shy and unsure about each other. So when it came around to my turn, I actually answered a question. I went kind of deep into something riveting that had happened in my past, and I can share that with you if you ever want to play sometime. But after sharing the story with the team, everybody at my table thanked me, and you could kind of tell that something had shifted. So all the mood around the room had shifted. And when the next person went, they shared a very deep story as well. And then that kind of spiraled as we went through the game. And we created this safe space for each other as we were playing that I'm not sure I ever felt anything like that in another board game that I've played before. And by the end of the game, we were sharing contact details, and I still keep in touch with two of the members of that team that we played with. So that was quite a memorable experience that I've not had playing other games with random strangers before. So to win this game, you kind of have to be a combination of fun, a little vulnerable, and definitely genuine and authentic. And the best part is that once someone gives a great response to a question, everyone kind of picks up on that and starts to go a little bit deeper. It's almost like the most pleasant way of one-upping that you can think. But they're really just trying to show their authentic selves in the game. And so by the end of the game, someone might win because they have the most points. Actually, that is exactly how the game works. But I think everybody around the table wins when we play Cozy Juicy Real because we all get to bond over the fact that we are beautiful and flawed human beings. And another thing I really like about this game is its replayability. I've played this game so many times, I can't even count at this point. And there's so many cards in the decks that I rarely get a repeat card. And in the rare instances where I have gotten a repeat card, I'm usually in a different headspace at that game than I was in the previous game. So I don't think of the exact same answer. I think of something else that I can raise that answers the question in a really meaningful way. And everyone seems to get a lot out of that. So I think the replayability is off the charts for this game. So let's check out the game itself. First, we have the game board, which is nicely done on this kind of fabric, which means that it's easy to fold up and roll up, and it does great. It fits in a really small footprint, so it's not going to take up too much room on your shelf or in your game room. Next, we have the game pieces themselves, and these are all very nice carved out of wood. There's lots of different ones. We have a rainbow, a dog, a narwhal, the sun, ice cream, a tropical drink. There's lips, a campfire. So there's lots of cute and really fun pieces going on here that are a little bit different than what you might normally see in a game. So I really love that. I think this game's perfect for around 4 to 6 people. You can play with more if you have more time. It'll just be more people answering the questions and taking a bit longer to get around the board. So you could definitely play with up to 8 people because there are 8 game pieces that have been provided for you in this physical version. So yeah, plan for about 40 to maybe 90 minutes to get through a game of Cozy Juicy Real. So overall, I'd have to give Cozy Juicy Real a 10 out of 10. It's one of those games that just hits you when you play it. It's special. It feels special. And I think I get so connected to the other people that I play with that I feel like I've won just by playing, as cheesy as that sounds.